And I was like, what?
So, my name is Maarten Zijnstra. I'm a copyright lawyer and information professional. I have a one-person consultancy firm for the public sector, where I give advice to mostly GLAM institutions on intellectual property and on information management. I've been a member of the Netherlands Creative Commons community for over a decade. I chair the Netherlands Association Open Nederland, which is an advocacy organization for everything open, but mostly where Creative Commons licenses are involved. I'm also the copyright advocate for the Netherlands organization of the archive sector, and I'm also the national coordinator for Knowledge Right 21, which is a program that tries to improve access to knowledge in mostly Europe. So all my work involves access to information, knowledge, and culture. So I'd like to turn this question around. Open GLAM should not be thought of having benefits. Open GLAM is a necessity of a disbalanced copyright framework that favors the rights of the creator over the needs of society. Open GLAM is a necessary initiative that helps GLAMs to achieve their public missions and provide access to our shared culture and heritage. And it also is a way to keep our governments accountable. But having said that, Open GLAM, of course, does provide a good body of structured evidence that shows that our society needs the access to heritage, and that this heritage is not being used to disadvantage the needs of the creator and their rights holders. We see that the stories where open heritage and open GLAM is being used, that disadvantage rights holders or creators are very few apart, and especially given the size of the heritage collections. What we do need is to make the benefits of sharing heritage more explicit. Having access to our heritage is one of the most important things or ways to learn about our history and to contextualize the current needs of our society and our current debates and struggles in public debate. Open GLAM allows us to celebrate the creation of our ancestors and build upon their works, to find novel ways to express ourselves and to further our own dialogues. So it's of vital importance to have more open heritage, not only in the sense of Creative Commons licenses or Creative Commons licensed heritage, but also just having access to heritage. Well, as I said before, there's a lot of barriers in the legal aspect, but there's also a barrier in the understanding of how heritage is being used by our society. There is this prevalent fear that access to heritage somehow hurts the creator and rights holders, and this fear dominates the public discourse. But in practice, we see that this is only applicable for a very tiny fraction of our heritage collections. And even then, it's based on even more fringe cases and exceptions and theoretical cases. So I think this fear for what heritage does in society is a big barrier again. So what's the consequence of this fear is that this leads to not making heritage available at all, let alone under a CC license. So it slows the adoption of any open publication policies. There are two. So I've been working in the open GLAM sector for over a decade, and there are a couple of things that opened my eyes more than 10 years ago. The first was a white paper that I helped prepare was the problem of the yellow milkmaid, which was a problem that the Rijksmuseum had, where they didn't sell reproductions of the milkmaid by Vermeer. because people thought that it was not an accurate reproduction. People were taking photographs with their horrible early digital cameras of the Vermeer, the milkmaid of Vermeer, and it turned out that with those cameras, the painting was more yellow than it is actually is. So when they have these high resolution scans of the work, it didn't match up with their expectations. So, and that means that if heritage is not being pushed by the heritage institutions on the places where heritage is enjoyed, mostly on the internet, then it can lead to all kinds of misunderstandings of heritage. So what the Rijksmuseum did was very actively push all their public domain works on the internet on the most high and the best resolution possible, to really open up their collection and be a pioneer in that sense, just to push the yellow milkmaid back down in the search results and have their proper milkmaid high up in the research results. Another case where that really opened up my eyes and opened GLAM was I was doing a collaboration back in 2011, 2012 with Wikimedia Commons and some volunteers there. And one volunteer, a Dutch volunteer called Multichill, that's his username, was responsible for over half of all openly accessible, openly licensed videos on Wikimedia Commons. So there's one person, right? And this huge impact that this one person could have just by uploading those openly licensed videos is huge. So back in 2012, if you came across a video on Wikipedia, the chances were one in two that it was a Dutch video because it was uploaded by him. So I really opened my eyes that there's a lot of work to do, and we have done a lot of work in the past 10 years on this. My advice would be to just start small, start by organizing your collection, create a way to document the right status of your collection, use standards like rightstatements.org and Creative Commons licenses, and then start with the public domain and works where you know you are the rights holder, and just make them available and wait for a year and see what the impact is, and you will see that the impact is large and the risks are tiny, and then you can start thinking about opening up more of your collection, starting discussions with your peers, with the creators of the collection to open up more.